Right, so I haven't quite finished that panel yet, but I've managed to get a day off work to get these this subframe bush in. They arrived yesterday and I'll show you shortly, but before we do I need to jack this up. So I've had a little look. It's not quite as clear as my modern car, but there is the jack stand there. That is where we jack the car up, and then I've got to find some places to put some jack stand when it's up. I'm going to use my big jack. Obviously you get one that's made for this, which basically hooks in just there, like if you're changing the tyre, but got that to hand, and obviously I want to use this thing. So I've got like a little rubber to meet in the middle. Try and get that nice and lined up. There you go. Right, so I've managed to get mine jack stands just underneath here. It's a bit hard to work out in these older cars, some clear places for jack stands. On my new car, you kind of got a rim all the way along there. So just somewhere solid. This is just a secondary one. So that should be fine. Right, just extra careful, got that first one, secondary one, just doesn't quite fit under there, but just in case, I'm going to leave that in place as well. Right, today, subframe pin, all bush excessively worn, near side rear. This side. So I've had a little look online, I think, hopefully, I haven't checked it yet. Fingers crossed, this is the right part. Couldn't get it at any, I think GSF Auto Spares and Europe Car Parks, couldn't do it. So I went to Auto Dock in the end. And about 3 days delivery, should have been here on Saturday, didn't get it for Sunday, hence the day after today. So the part number, if it works, is 3507923. I think that's the right one. There's another number of 580086CM, but I think 3507923 is the one. And this is what it looks like. I probably need to do the other one as well, the offside, but just for now, I'm going to do this side. Right, so I need to, hopefully, what I'm going to do, what I've seen online, is that people can push these out. It means dropping the whole subframe. A lot of people say that the easiest way is just to kind of drill out this kind of internal kind of gasket, this bit here. You drill it out, crack it, pop it out, and then you've got to push it in. Hopefully it's that easy. I doubt it is, but let's give it a go. So I finally found the bushing. I'm a bit of an amateur at this. I was kind of teaching myself as I go along. I was looking at the back of the car, but there's actually 4 bushings, all stationed near the front of the car under the subframe. So this is the rear one here with this plate, one over there, and just in front of the wheel, so just there. So I was looking for that, which is quite clear, but the ones on the rear that are just behind the wheel, I mean, they all need changing eventually, but it's only failed on one for now. So just behind the front wheel, which is what I couldn't find on the internet, under this bracket here. Now there's 2 different types of bolts here. You've got 14 at the back, just there, that's 14. Don't look in too bad condition actually, and 18 just there. So that one's not too bad. That's the second one. I was a bit worried about that wall pin, but it seems to have gone okay. Just always take your time with these things. That last one needed a breaker bar, but again be very careful not to damage the threads, not the threads, the nut, but that's gone okay. Just need to break in a little bit. This 18mm is obviously the pin that goes all the way through the bush. And give all these a clean up once they come out. That's it. And there you go. Right, so I've seen a few people drop the frame, which I don't want to do. Other than that, they just drill through it. So that's what I'm going to do. Right, so this is going to be the replacement one. So what I need to do is basically drill through this plastic casing to crack it, to pull it out. The new one can just kind of push in. So obviously I've got a lip there, but that should just break hopefully as I cut through this. So in between these, pretty much on the inner layer there. That's what I need to drill. Just there. So when you start, you should see loads of white plastic coming off, which is there you go, that's out. So let's have a look inside. So that's inside. So obviously it's metal, you've got to be a little bit careful with that drill, not to kind of damage too much. Right, so this is the one that came off. So you can see where I've drilled through it, which is a really good technique for getting it out. They look a bit different. It is an aftermarket piece, so I'm hoping there won't be any issues. Slightly different, but we'll only really know when we try and put it in. Right, to give it a helping hand, I've got some grease to go on it. It should just help it get in there a little bit. Now to get it in, I'm going to give it a go using this jack stand, just to kind of push it in. So if I get it all lined in, all right. Now I've just got a small jack just on a bit of wood just to push this in. I tried in the first to put that rubber bracket on, but it's just going to deform because it's rubber on rubber. So this little internal coil there is metal, so that's going to be the best place to push it up. And hopefully it just pushes in. Just get it started. I'm not going to rush it. I've seen someone crack this before, but I think they had like an insert in, so it wasn't allowed to deform to get in. This one hasn't got one. It's not quite straight yet. That's it. So the problem is there, look, so that middle bit's going in, but the rest isn't. So that's just going to break it. So that's not going to work. I need to have something flat, I think. New plan, I'm going to use this jack because it's got the perfect platform for pushing it in. There you go. I'm going to back off a little bit and realign. Just want to be careful because there's 4 tons of pressure here, so I could easily damage it, and it's obviously going up at an angle. it's just not fully in yet. So whether I give it a whack or... Well, it's almost there. I mean, what I could do now is use the other jack. That's going to be a vertical rather than an angle, so I might give that a go with a bit of wood. So I'm just going to pull this out. Problem is this jack's going to go up at an angle, so what I want to do is almost get it in and split it. So if you see here, got a nice flat piece of wood there. Let's see if that makes a difference. There you go. If you look at that. So I think the issue before is that it was going up at an angle. So a bottle jack will be good for this. Look at that. So look at that. There you go. That looks alright to me. And that's in. So the issue before, if you've got 4 tons going at an angle, it's going to push one side in. If you continue to push, it's going to put all that pressure on the opposite side to the angle that it's at, and it's going to crack it or cause some damage. But obviously a jack like this or a bottle jack is going to go straight up. So that's pretty good. That appears to be in. So that worked pretty well. That did. Pretty happy with that. Right, so I'm clear. Right, so next job. Pretty much done. It's going to clean up all these bolts. Got some copper grease here. Put it back in, and I think we're pretty much ready for the MOT then. Love that smell. Bit of copper grease. So these 14mm bolts, they are 37 foot-pounds of pressure or 50 Newton meters. And the 18mm bolt is going to be 77 foot-pounds of pressure, or that converts to 104 Newton meters plus a third turn. So I'm going to get the 104 done now. It needs a third turn. And the third turn is 120 degrees past 104 Newton meters, so let's see how far. And that's pretty tight as it is. Oh, I'm not going to push that any further. That'll do. So just inside there?
Yeah.
And is that a kind of a suspension bush rear trailing arm? Is it? Or?
Potentially, yeah. But as you can see, this is a beam axle. There's one unit with multi-link suspension.
Is it cracked or something?
Well, no, the bush is hanging out at the top.
Yeah. And is it, for me to find a new part then, is that going to be like a rear axle suspension bush, or is it rear subframe axle bush?
You should be able to get just the bush on its own.
Is that what it's called though, like a rear axle suspension bush? Or?
Yeah, beam axle bush, subframe bush, but it's on the near side rear.
Okay, alright. Thank you. Alright, so on a retest, how did we do? I knew we were going to fail because I changed the wrong subframe bush. As you saw from the video, there's a front subframe and a rear subframe. The rear subframe is part of the trailing arm suspension, and it was that bush that's gone. As you saw in the video, it needs both sides doing really. One's a fail, one's almost a fail. So I need to change that. So I knew it was going to fail, but the reason I put it in is because I had no chance of doing that by Friday, which was my 10 days, and I wanted to see if the handbrake adjustment had made a difference. Now, it has failed on the handbrake. I'm told, somewhere in here, I think, it was 14%. It should be 16% minimum. But normal cars in like a new car with a decent handbrake should be 30%, so it's way under. I think previously it was 7%, so I've made quite a big difference by adjusting that screw, but looking at it, I think it needs some internal shoes. It doesn't use the normal disc brakes to use the parking brake. That's an internal shoe, so I imagine after a good 200,000 miles that needs replacing. So that's going to be another project, another video in the future. The damage to the side is all fixed, obviously not aesthetically complete yet, but that's all fixed. And those two bushes at the back I need to source and do. And then the final thing, although it's not an MOT fail, is the alternator, which I probably will just go whole hog and do that now rather than sell it without. So not quite ready to sell yet, but we're getting there and we're learning a lot. So all good.